Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 467 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for August 31st, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It is, man, September is basically here. By the time you hear this, it'll be September, man. Yep. We're in a new month, man. School is going to be starting soon, man. Or already started.
All right, yeah, this past week.
It started in the county this past week?
Yeah.
See, the school's on. Well, my sister's going to start after Labor Day. Yeah, man, fall is almost here, man. Like, college football started now, and yeah, NFL's going to be starting this week. Man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be it's getting crazy. Like, baseball, we're getting down to the wire, man. These playoff teams. I might as well just go right into that. Orioles still being iffy. They lost the series to the Dodgers. They won one game, though. Their offense is just, man, they just cannot score. And then they played Colorado. They did beat Colorado as of this podcast, but Colorado, like a team you should score on, because just that place, it's like the balls be flying. And
yeah,
the Orioles got 3 runs. They won 3-2. And I was like, darn, man, it's like this offense is like, well, thank God our pitchers kept we're good at keeping the ball in the, no balls, no home runs and anything. But yeah, well, that's what it's known. They say Colorado, even though the ball does fly, it's still not the most home runs. I think it's near the bottom, but it's not the place where the most home runs are hit. One being because they know that the park, because of the air quality. That's the air quality. Well, just because of the elevation that the ball flies, they make that's like the biggest field, because so they make it harder for you to hit it because it's how easier it is to hit with that elevation. But that is the place with the most doubles and triples, though, because the outfielders have to stay back.
Right.
So a lot of balls that would be probably routine fly balls will drop. And it was even one point where, like, the wind, man, the guy overran the ball on it was a Colorado team, though. He overran the ball because I guess the wind must have blew the ball back, man, and it fell. So it was like, it was lucky for us. But yeah, the offense, I don't know, man. It's just been ever since after the All-Star break, man, or even a little bit before the All-Star break, the offense has, man, they've just been down. And I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, I just hope we get in the playoffs and just hope something happens in there, man, because we do have a lot of injuries that happen that was unfortunate that happened, but hey, that's just part of the day. That's just the game. I know they are. Shohei Ohtani is the first player to ever have 43 home runs and 43 stolen bases.
Wow!
So that's pretty cool. But also, it's a rule change in the game too. Like stolen base, like the pitcher can only pick off a guy twice, throw it at first base twice. So
really?
It's still good because nobody else is doing it right now. But that's really only you can compare it to. Like, you can't compare it to people in the past because they didn't have these type of rules. Because, I mean, if Ricky Henderson had this rule, oh my God, he'll probably have like over 200 something bases, stolen bases in his career.
Right.
I think he has like 139 or something. But yeah, he'll have like over not 139 in his career in the season. I think his season, the record is 139 a season. He'll probably have over 200 stolen bases in a season if that was the case. So yeah, So I just compare it to other people. So right now, that's great. Like, there are people who have stolen even more bases than he does, but they're just not. But he's been hit 43 home runs. Like that's the thing.
It's one of those curated stats where it's like he's the first guy to do this, and also on a cold winter day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. What else we got here? We other sports, not really much to talk about. I guess I'll be talking about a lot next week with football. and everything. So let's get right. So what's going on wrestling? You said it's like a pay-per-view today, right?
Yeah, there's a pay-per-view happening at the time of recording this. Is WWE Bash in Berlin, where you've got like Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, which is the match that's happening right now. The match that'll close the show is Gunther versus Randy Orton, I'm sure, because Gunther is from Austria, around the area. It's also probably the only time that guy is going to be able to headline a show, because basically it seems like Roman Reigns is going to be back after this pay-per-view, basically. And from that point on, whether he's got a title or not, he's probably going to be at the top of the card. Now, last week, we did have All In for AEW and Brian Danielson. Brian Danielson did defeat Swerve for the championship, so he is not retiring. He is now saying that he is going to retire once he loses that title, though, so we'll see where that goes. But that should be a kind of a fun run, and they're going back to Hangman versus Swerve, which has kind of been this like blood feud ever since they first went at it. So they've got something for Swerve that's interesting to do after losing that title, which is nice. I did actually go to a New Japan show last night in DC. They had it at the WNBA arena down there. And that was a good show. I was a little concerned going into it, just like perception wise, because when I looked at the tickets the morning of, like, there were so many tickets not sold. I just thought the place was going to be kind of empty and the crowd wasn't going to be too hot for it, but it wasn't quite as bad. There were definitely splotches around the arena, including down on the floor where the seats weren't sold out, but the crowd was still really loud and into it. And it was a lot of fun. It's somewhere between like an AEW show and an indie show. Like, they don't have a huge production budget, but it's just people that are really good in the ring. And Mercedes Moné, formerly Sasha Banks, she was in the main event with Momo Watanabe. That was a really good match. There's a Zack Sabre Jr. versus Teton match, which is very, very good. I think that was probably the match of the night. But overall, it was a lot of fun, and I like that arena. It's not too big, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of down there. So yeah, that was a good time last night. But that's kind of where we're at with wrestling. Just AEW, I think, has another pay-per-view next week. They've always had All Out the weekend of Labor Day, and I think last year they actually had All In the one weekend, and then the very next weekend All Out was, and they realized how bad of an idea that was. So this year they pushed All Out 1 week out, which is especially good for them considering WWE also has a pay-per-view this weekend, even though this is in Berlin, so it would be happening during the day for us in America, whilst the AEW show would be happening that night or Sunday night, depending on. But yeah, wrestling is still really good. I'm excited to, we're getting closer to all of the WWE programming switching where they're at. Like, NXT is going to the CW, I think in a couple of weeks now, and Raw is going to Netflix, which is the thing I'm most excited about, because right now Raw is the one that's kind of hitting on all cylinders as far as WWE goes. SmackDown's kind of chilled out a lot, especially with like Roman not around. And that'll eventually switch to USA, but I think that's the one that happens last. But I'm just excited to see WWE on Netflix because it's going to be a lot more accessible to me. Not having cable, I haven't really been watching as much outside of like the pay-per-views mostly. And to be able to finally get back to like seeing the weekly program, I'm kind of excited about that, even though we'll see if that excitement like wears off pretty quickly and I just go back to watching highlights on like Reddit or whatever. But I kind of miss the cohesiveness of like the entire show, because there are some bits that like I hear about happening, but don't see highlights of, and I kind of have to search them out a little more. And they end up being good. So it's like, okay, maybe if I can just actually watch this, I'm going to get back more into this stuff. And AEW is supposed to be redoing their deal sometime soon with Warner Brothers. And I'm really hoping that they work something out to get their programming on Max, whether it be the pay-per-views or even the back catalog or something, to be able to revisit a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, that's wrestling right now.
I guess we get to what we've been watching. There's only one new thing I watched. There's a Terminator Zero. That is an anime that's on Netflix. It's Terminator, and the story. I mean, I only watched the first episode, so it looks like it takes place in Paris, and the guy seemed like he works for some company that made some type of AI, and somehow, I don't know why he has dreams of the future. He has dreams of like apocalypse happening, and that on a certain date something's going to happen, and he has to stop it. He doesn't know why. I don't know why, and I don't know if he knows why, and so, but it does also goes like it flashes forward too, also where well, it starts off with a flash forward. Like
we're gonna find out that guy's a Terminator. I bet, Dominic.
In 2022, where the future where the Terminators had won and everything, and then it kind of goes in when they realize the Terminators are going back in the past, so they have to send this woman back into the past, and that's how it like ended with that, and well, actually, I think that started the next episode, because I watched a little bit of the next episode. But it does have these, so they do have these kids I know in there that's probably going to have something to do with this stuff, because the father, he has 3 kids, and the babysitter's watching them, but then one of the girls, she got upset or something, she ran away, and then her 2 brothers were chasing her. So I'm like, okay, they're probably going to either meet the Terminator or that lady from the future, one or the other. Probably both at the same time, and she probably to protect them or something. But so far, it's like I can't really judge it yet. I can't say it's bad or good.
Does it make you want to watch more?
They happen. I mean, I'll watch more just because if I'm playing a game or something, to have something on that I don't really have to pay attention to, honestly. So,
have you gone back to the Batman at all?
Oh shit! Then I forgot. That's what I forgot to mention. I finished watching that series.
Oh, okay.
I finished that. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the series. Okay. They do a lot of changes in there. Like Harley Quinn is different. Like you don't even see the Joker.
Is Harley Quinn a guy?
No.
They gender swap her too.
She's a woman.
Just sexy booty short still.
No, she's not. She is thick though.
Oh, okay.
But no, she's not nothing like that. I mean, it's all right. It's an all right series. It's not. I wouldn't say it's great. I would say it's okay. Like I enjoyed it. I have no huge problems with it. They just take things in a different way. But I can understand. I mean, I know why some people could be very upset about it and stuff like that. You see, your favorite character is a certain way, and you just want them to stay that way. But like, there's so much content of that stuff of the way you want it. So it's.
But also, his favorite character is the Penguin. Come
on. But yeah, it was a fun show. I'm about to start watching. Well, I'm gonna finish the Harley Quinn series, and because I want to start watching Kite Man too. I want to see that. What else have I? Yeah, that's all I can really think of that I watched. Fully. It's probably something else, man. I gotta remember to write stuff down. Like, I don't really like to say it.
Same.
And then I can remember to talk about it.
Yeah.
I guess we get to what we've been playing. So what you been playing, man?
I played the Mickey Rebrush demo that they put out on the Switch this past week.
A demo. Oh, why you ain't put demo up here? You may be thinking like, oh, he got the game. He got the game.
I got early access. I got insiders.
You got that what Best Buy? I remember they had. I don't know if they still have it. Like buy 2 get 1 free deal or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure I own this game because you played it, or was that the second one?
Yeah, you own it.
Okay,
you own it.
Yeah, so I bought this game and I
probably
played
still have it.
very little
I don't know
bit
if I
of
gave
it.
it back to you.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know if I gave it back to you. Honestly, I might have.
Either way, there's a new, better version out now, so I don't need that trash. Yeah, I didn't spend much time with it. I always liked the idea of it, but the controls and the camera just were too much. This is a great improvement. You use the right stick to move the camera like you would want, and that is awesome. The jump feels a little floaty, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like it's something to get used to when you're used to more like tight platformers, but it feels fine after the first couple of times, and it has a very like forgiving double jump as well. So I don't think I'm going to find myself missing a whole lot of jumps, in a game like this. In this, they also give you the mechanic. You got your paintbrush, and you can either like make things appear or disappear in the environment to solve puzzles and create new platforms and find secrets and stuff like that. That stuff works well enough. It's also got gyro controls, much in the way like a Splatoon does, so you can get a little more nuanced while you're holding the Switch. It's not as exaggerated as like doing the Wii thing. Now, I didn't try, but I feel like they probably do also have an option to hold like the Joy-Con separately and use that like actual motion stuff in there more. But like I said, I didn't try that out. But it seems like a good enough platformer. I don't know that it's something I'm going to rush out to the store and buy, but this definitely feels like a greatly improved version of that original game. Now, I will say, when we first saw this game, like the rebrushed version of it, I think we both took note of the frame rate being kind of an issue and being shocked by that because it's an old game. I've definitely noticed some things that have been like, well, why is this happening? But it hasn't necessarily been like super detrimental to my experience, but it's definitely another one of those things where it just feels like the Switch is a little long in its tooth, and which is only funny because, again, this is a Wii game. Like, there's no reason a Switch shouldn't be able to run a Wii game. But we'll just assume that maybe the visual fidelity increase is part of the reason why it's struggling to keep up. Hopefully the rumors are true that we will be seeing the Switch 2 in the next couple of weeks here before Tokyo Game Show. But yeah, that's kind of it. I've been thinking about, I was actually going through the PlayStation Plus catalog today because I had seen an article mentioning that Final Fantasy, is it 16 that's the newest one for the PS5?
Yes.
Yeah, that was on there, which apparently it's not, but was for some people. So maybe it's like a premium only thing, or it might be something just like isn't fully on there yet and they haven't announced. I'm not sure. Because I would like to, I like that demo and I would like to maybe explore that game. But in searching for that, I kind of just went through the list of things in the PlayStation Plus catalog and realized how many games are on that service that I'm already paying for because I forgot to renew my thing when they updated those prices. And that I need to definitely either revisit or start. Like Animal Well, you had mentioned, playing to me, and it's on your list here that you played a bit of that. I'd like to go back to that, which at this point, I think I was early enough that I would probably just restart it so I have an idea of what I'm doing. And then there were quite a few other ones where I'm just like, man, this game is on here and I've wanted to play it for a long time. I should really get around to doing that. I'm sure the same thing would happen with Game Pass, but having the PS5 and not really using that even less than my PC, I feel like I need to get around to that. But one of the things I sent you this week was Concerned Ape talking about how he hasn't been working on the Haunted Chocolatier at all because he's working on Stardew. I'm like, is this the time to get into Stardew? I feel like that's the exact like chill vibe kind of thing that I'm looking for right now, where I don't necessarily have to like commit to it, but at the same time I could very easily kill time and also just find myself playing a lot of it without realizing I'm playing a lot of it. And that game is obviously great from all the time that you've spent with it and everything that you hear about it. And I was super into Harvest Moon back in the day, so I think I might give that game another try. But
you're too late now.
Too late now. I think you're too early, Dominic, because now there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that you haven't even tried out.
I know.
This can be like a whole new game. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in my like gaming journey right now. Of course, we've also got new games coming out soon that there's quite a few that I would like to maybe get into. But yeah, so what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right, so I played a little Animal Well, just a little, just to get a feel like what this game was, and so I see it's like a Metrovania sort of game, but not so much action, but more of a like a puzzly thing. Well, at least as of right now, I'm not doing a whole lot of action. Only thing I did was throw fireworks so I can stop the some type of ghost, but and then to stop porcupines from moving. But it. So I mean, but the platforming it feels tight though. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm jumping to something, it doesn't feel off or anything. So I do like that, the controls wise. So I mean it's fine. Like I mean it seems like an all right game. I don't know if I'll play some more. But I mean it seems all right. Just because I'm already playing like so many games, I'm trying to find some game like I just want to like just stay with. Playing, but now I see what some people were saying about the game, and that it turned out to be a really good game. So I was like, okay, so I'm glad it did. One of those things that Donkey was pushing. So I was like, okay, so it's actually a decent game, not just some type of throwaway or anything like that. I've been playing some more Trails through Daybreak. Still going through that. The story's still alright. Still not liking how this series has done voice acting. Like, just put it randomly in places. Like, some places, like, there'll be a guy talking, but then you have to read your main character lines, but everybody else is talking. So it's like, why can't you get this guy to talk for my character? And at this point, because you do have a voice actor for this character. So it's like, I'd rather for you cut out maybe some other, I don't know. It's just weird how they do voice acting. Like, they don't have it where it's all consistent. It's like a person talking there, then it's not. Then you have no voice talking for a while, then somebody just talks out randomly, and then it just is like scares you because it's like, whoa, I didn't know he was going to start talking again, like voice talking. But yeah, it's just weird how they do that. Or that's like,
it's like these voices are just developers, and they're the only ones we can get, but we can't get more developers to do voices because we've used all the developers.
But not the developers. These sound like anime guys to me. They sound like guys I hear the anime. So, but yeah, like I don't know. They can't whatever. But other than that, it's a fine game. Like that's the improvements upon the other game. Oh yeah, another improvement I never mentioned was that, like how you transitioning like to areas like when you want to go inside a bar or something. Sometimes you have to go through like a new screen, like as a load new screen, like a new thing. But now it's all like, if you're at a certain point, it's all transversal. Like you can just go right through the doors and you're in the place. And it's like, okay, so they improved that. So that's an improvement from the previous games. So like usually when you go into people's buildings or homes, some places you can just go through, and some places you couldn't. Now it seems like you can just go anywhere, and it just kind of seamless in that area. Unless you go into like a whole new area that's only like loading area. But other than that, it's pretty seamless. Like I said, the animation is a whole lot better. A whole lot. I want to say a whole lot, but it's better. It's better than the previous games. So yeah, I see the improvements they've done in this game, and I'm curious to what the new game they're working on. Because they say they're trying to get away from this now. Like I think the next game they're working on, which we'll talk about it later because now that confuses me from what I saw on the Disney. I mean, it said Disney, the Nintendo Indie Direct, because I could have sworn like their last game was going to be this one, like the sequel or some other game in this universe. This was going to be the last game, which it might still be because that could be the game in between that, like they're working on. So I guess that they're not lying. I just didn't know about this game, which we will talk about in the game. But yes, they're getting close to the end of this whole arc, and because they were talking about they're going to be working on a new story, and I want to know what kind of technology they're going to be using, like what kind of engine they're going to be using. Are you using this? It's going to look similar to this game. Or it's gonna be like look totally better. I don't know, but I mean, I can see the improvements though. So for what they're doing, so yeah, I'm definitely curious of what their new RPG series is going to be because this is huge. Like this is going across almost probably like almost 20 years if you go back to the first game. I forget when the first game came out. I mean, it's a little less than 20 years, but. Yeah, but it's a long time. You talking about like a 15-year gap, but but the story arc is huge. I mean, this is huge. Like I don't see other games that done this, something like this. That's a like straight connection. That's not like just like hey, just a part two. Nah, this is like a straight continuation and like all connected. It's pretty cool. I also played a game called Fuga Melodies. This is a game. Fuga. I don't know what that stands for, or whatever. But it's like you play as these furries, these little like cartoon animals. And it's almost reminds me of Advance Wars. It's a strategy game where it's not like a map like you go through, like you see the enemy and stuff. It's like it's a 2D like art style. Like the art style is drawn art style though. It's not like pixelated or anything. But it has it looks like it's 2D, and you go on the map is just you go on a straight line, and like there's spots that show you like, hey, at this point you can get some like you might get some health. You're gonna see some or at this point you're gonna have to fight some enemies. But it does have some divergence. I did get to a point, so I know like there's a point where like, hey, you can go up the top or the bottom, like and like whatever which one you go. Like one, I think that they even said like, hey, going down here is harder than up if you go up top. So I chose to go to bottom harder because I was like, yeah, I got cheats on, so I can just do this. But so I went through that now. So it's like I said, it's like Advance Wars, but you're just this one tank, and there's one tank that is occupied by these kids, and each kid has a weapon. They operate a weapon, and the thing is, you have like there are but you only have 3 like leaders that you can have, and then you can put the other 3 as support for each of those leaders. So you can have different, like they can help support you in different ways by depending on what leader you have them the support guys on. So you can like match up people, like they be partners, but only one person operates one of the main weapons. Like you have a weapon that's probably like a big cannon, one that's probably more like a rifle, which is really good for like flying enemies, and then you have one that's kind of in between, like it's like a machine gun or something. Yeah, and then you level them up. You get time, like there are points in the game where you can just go around your tank, like try around your tank as any of the characters you want to be, and like talk to people, and then you kind of level up your characters like that. Only reminds me of Fire Emblem. If you know Fire Emblem too, like it has those kind of things. That's kind of like Fire Emblem. Like, hey, you level up a character, they become stronger. Even when you talk and have conversations with them, they might develop different abilities and stuff like that. Like that, yeah. So this probably is much closer to Fire Emblem than anything. And thing is, there's also the special weapon called Soul Cannon, which you can use. Now, the Soul Cannon is like the strongest weapon. It'll destroy all the enemies. So I guess if you're really in trouble, you can use that weapon. But thing is, it will kill off one of your characters permanently. So, like, it's really a desperation thing. Now, I read somewhere, like, you can get these dummy souls later in the game or something. So I haven't really got to that point. I haven't got to a point where it's gotten too hard or anything yet. I can tell it's getting too hard anyway, because sometimes, I only turn cheats on if it looks like I'm in trouble, and I haven't had to do that really yet.
Yeah.
So I haven't got to that point where something like that's happening. And I got to I'm still kind of in the beginning of the story, but yeah, these guys, like, your village has been destroyed by this other empire or whatever. And now you're trying to go back and find your family and everything because it looks like they've been taken. So yeah, you're trying to find your family again, basically. And it's just a group of you kids. So, and this person and some person on the radio who was talking to you that told you about this tank, and they tell you how to use the tank and everything. So yeah, so this mystery person who's helping you out, and this evil empire, or whatever. And apparently, like, I don't know, this tank must be some mystical thing, because then I see a cutscene with it, but some guy from the evil empire saying things like, oh, they found this or something like that. That means that this other weapon is real. So I'm guessing, that must be the evil weapon I probably have to fight or something, but whatever. But yeah, it's all right. Like, it's pretty good. I got decent reviews, and it was like I believe it was on Xbox Game Pass, and it might even was one of those free games maybe you got with Xbox. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it does have a part 2 also. So I was kind of interested in this. I was just trying to find a different game, and I was looking at strategy games, and I saw that game, and I saw, like, because I think you can buy it on Xbox, on the game store on the Xbox. That's what I was looking at, but then I saw, like, it's not on Game Pass anymore. But I also played some Frostpunk, because I was like, oh yeah, Frostpunk is up here. And of course I used to like this War of Mine. I said this War of Mine. I mean,
this little War of Mine.
War is. I forgot, what was the game called? Was it called This War of Mine?
I think that's similar. Yeah.
War is. War I don't know. I forget.
This War of Mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was right. All right. So I did like that game, and it had that like, you take care of these group of people, survivalist game, strategy game, and this really takes it to the almost the RTS route, where you're taking a group of, like, this city that's though with these group of people that's traveling, and, like, some harsh cold has happened, like, has called, like, people to lose their homes, and now they're trying to find a place to stay, and then you find this place with this big steam powered engine thing that has the power to support heat. So now you're building around it, so you have to, like, choose what to build. You have to find homes for people. Like, people will tell you, like, oh, I'm too cold, so you have to find maybe these build these little steam power things that's connected to the bigger ones where the people get home, get warm. Also, like, have places where people can work. You tell them what to do. Like, go gather some coal, gather some wood or metal and things of that nature. Then eventually get to a point where you get scouts to go search other areas, to find either more survivors. And, like, people tell you different things, like what they want. Like, some people say, like, before they even look for survivors, that's how I learned to build scouts, is because they had said, hey, can you find the others, like my family members out there, blah, blah, blah. Hold on real quick. Sure.
Bless you.
All right. Thanks. All right. So then, also people getting sick, so you have to build a place where you can have some doctors. Like, you have people that call, like, workers and engineers. They tell you how many you have. So engineers, like, they do they're doctors, researchers, and things of that nature. Now, I need to look up to see what, like, for gathering coal and stuff, because you have workers do that, but they also have it. You can have engineers gather coal too. Now, I don't know what's the benefit. Like, is there a benefit for an engineer gathering coal or something? That or is this another, or I'm just using them as a worker, a regular worker. I never did look that up. I just didn't bother. I just said fuck it. I just gonna have, I need some more people go, and there's some engineers available. I'll put them in there. There's usually more workers than engineers, which makes sense. I think if you get to the point where there's more engineers than workers, then you got a problem. Then, so right now my base has been built up to a point where I do have scouts going around, and it's even a objective to find a new settlement. So I'm wondering, like, oh, so can I have more than one place cool. or something? And I'll see. Or
then you can turn one of them into a sacrificial one, and they're all the meat you're going to eat for the other one.
Yeah, I mean, they give you some choices that get hard. Like if you need, like if you feel like, oh no, we're not getting enough coal, you can make people work 24 hours. Like the morale will be down, but you have to do it. Then you have ones where like, oh, this person's hurt, like he has to be amputated, but like they also need a place where he could be rehabilitated. Or sometimes you could say no, or
just send him to the mines.
Yeah, or let this person die. If somebody's really sick,
let
him die. Like, because the hospital, like they said, no, just let him die for right now. We can't afford to miss like hospitals right now, something like that. So you have to make some tough choices and stuff like that. And I think one person died on me, and that person only died because of, I think he committed suicide. I think he couldn't live with being amputated. So it was just, I was like, oh, I said, I tried to help him. Technically, more people probably should have died on me, but then I turned, when I was too low on coal, I had like 0 coal left. I turned the cheats on, put some more coal in there. I was like, oh shit! It's like these people, they're not, they're burned through coal faster than they're mining it, and I mean, ideally, I was supposed to probably turn it down, because you could turn, like, they have a day and night system. So, like, at night, I probably could, or during the day, it all depends where it is. Because I could say, hey, turn off the heat on places where you work. Because the people stop working. They stop working when it gets dark. So, I can turn the heat down. Let's say, they can go down now to save some energy, something like that. But I wasn't doing that. I was just letting it all burn, man. Just burn all the energy. And then I said, oh shit, I'm out of coal. And then I just put some more coal in. But yeah, man, this game is all right, man. I really like it. Like, it's a really good game. Like, I just I let it went back because I knew how the strategy games were. I was like, man, it can get you, like, really deep. And I wasn't really, I think every time I thought about playing it was some of the game that I wanted to play. But since now I'm kind of like in between games right now. I think mostly Trails is what I'm really into. I just figured, I tried it, and it's like, man, I know why people really enjoyed this, and I hope the next game that comes out is really good. What was that one called?
That's the clone one, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember what it's called.
I forgot what it's called, but I hope that turns out really good. So I mean they so far they've been doing good, man, with their with the games that come out. They've been hitting 100, batting 1,000. All right, so what else have I played? I played some Diablo 4. Some I played it through the GeoForce Now. I just was like, because I saw like that expansion was coming out, and I was like, I got this. I mean, I technically have it installed up here, but I was like, let me play it through GeForce Now, since it was late at night and it was easy to get in the game at that point on a free version of the GeForce Now. And it takes a while to load up a bit on my PC, so I played a little bit on that. I mean, I finally got past the beginning part, so I can finally see other people to play, right. And but I still playing through the story though. So but I see like events that happen and stuff, and I mean the game it's fun. I mean I like those looter type of games. Yeah. RPG action loot. What I don't know what the hell you call them. The action RPGs or whatever type of game.
Diablo likes.
Yeah, Diablo likes. So that's it. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to, quickly we're going to flashback to July and say we made a mistake because the games we said at the end of July, they actually came out in August. So, our bad. Like Infamous First Light actually came out in the end of August, and Ali. So,
it's a lot of time traveling down.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Discombobulated.
So, now we're traveling back to August 2014, and we're looking at Metro Redux, which is basically the a remastered of the Metro series, and they both of them come out at the same time, right?
I think pretty
1,
close, yeah.
Yeah,
Metro
pretty
Redux
close at the same time. Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, because I think I was seeing it, and it was like within the week, so it might be the same day. So yeah, these are like the remasters of the original, the Metro and the Metro. What was the other one called? The second one.
Last Light.
Last Light. And which Last Light is what I played. That was the first Metro game I ever played because that was free on PlayStation Plus, and I really liked that series. And apparently, I've been playing it wrong because I always had the bad ending. And every Metro game, I had the bad ending, even 3. So I pretty much sucked. I thought because that's why. Because look, the bad ending is when your character dies at the very end, and so I played the second one first, and I died. I was like, oh man. So then when I played the first one, I was like, oh, okay. So this character said, oh, okay, like I'm playing as him. So darn, like he's gonna die at the end of the second game, but you know that means he lives through this one. But then when I saw he died at the end, I was like, okay, I'm very confused. I was like, why? How can this character die twice? How did he come back to life? And then, you know what? And I never did put 2 together. I just kept thinking, oh, these are 2 different characters, and I must just thought they were the same. It wasn't until 3 that's when I realized that, okay, something's going on here. This is the character's name. I said, why? What's going on? Then I finally looked up and saw, like, you can get a good and bad ending. I said, oh my god, I didn't know. And I guess because I'm not a stealth guy, which I need more games that to punish you because you don't want to be stealth. Because I feel like, no, it should be like a choice I make, like a choice I do in the game that makes it so I get a certain ending. But I don't punish me because, oh, I chose to kill a bad guy. Like I said, so what? I wanted to go in and just go shooting. I'm sorry that they're too weak to kill me. That I didn't want to avoid them. But that's what sucked. Because I was like, I gotta go through all. Because I wanted to play the good ending. I wanted the good ending. And I was like, it makes. Because that's the good ending actually is canonical because it wouldn't make sense to have the other games. It's just. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background. That's my fan on because I had to have my door shut. I open it now, but it's still warm in here. Where am I at here? Yeah, so Metro Redux, but it's a great first-person shooter. It kind of reminds me. It's kind of like reminds me of like in between of like Fallout and traditional first-person shooter, like a regular first-person shooter. Because as you Fallout, because of just how apocalyptic and stuff it feels, and you do collect stuff, you do talk to people and stuff like that. But like when you're fighting and stuff, it's better controls than what Fallout is. It's not RPG controls or anything. It's like a first-person shooter. I want to say I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a better shooter than like a Wolfenstein and controls wise. I wouldn't say that, but it's fine. And yeah, they do have stealth, and I guess don't go by me. I'm just assuming stealth must be good because if they got good ratings, then it must be all right. I just choose not to because I'm very impatient and I just want to get through. Yeah. I mean, look, it's just a certain type of stealth I'm good with. I can deal with some stealth, but with that, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, Metro Redux. Yeah, it was a good way because like it also got people prepared for 3 because this is on PS4 and Xbox One. They were on the PS3 and Xbox 360, well, it's always on PC. But yeah, so this got really people prepared for 3, people to get into it. So yeah, I'm curious what they're those guys doing now.
That's a good
They're
question.
fighting the war. They're fighting the war. They're fighting the war in Ukraine, right?
Might be a little too real, Dominic.
All right. So what else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for 2014. So now we're going back to 2004. 20 years ago, and we got Pikmin 2 came out, man.
Yeah.
This is the sequel to that strategy game that Miyamoto invented because he was sniffing shrooms or eating shrooms, I guess. Sniffing someone's garden.
He was eating shrooms and playing StarCraft.
So yeah, it's a game I still have never ever played, never touched, and I feel like I would like it, but hey, I'm just past that now, and I don't want to buy it. I want to pay full price for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. And they're going to charge you full price for it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just one of those things I have missed out on playing because it's just it was always a game I looked at like, hey, I'll get it when it's on sale or something like that. This is before. This will
be a player's choice.
Yeah, and I think it's gotten top, but it's just that I just never. I just never thought about it, and I just never I don't want it. Like,
I looked at it and I
free,
said, "That's too kiddie. I don't want it."
See, if it's free, I'll play it. But yeah, but people really liked it. It's one of those new at the time and like a new IP though, so it was pretty cool. And now it's a staple. Now we're on 4, so that's good. That's and people enjoyed that. Yep. So yeah. So Pikmin 2. Don't ask me what's of course it had some new stuff, but I don't even know what the old stuff was, so I have no idea.
They had new Pikmin.
So what else we got here? We got Street Fighter Anniversary Collection was released, man. This was really for me the first anniversary collection I could think of was Street Fighter. This had Street Fighter Hyper. I had 2 games, Street Fighter Hyper and Street Fighter the 3 Third Strike. And it had different versions of Hyper. So, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition. I mean, it has so many, different versions in there. But this, darn, I thought I had it. Oh, yeah, I don't have it. Click up here. Okay. Yeah, it had normal champ was it has a dash in it was called dash in Japanese version. Turbo and it's called dash turbo in Japan. Oh, I didn't realize they had why didn't they call it dash turbo in US?
I don't know. That sounds much cool.
You got Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. You got Super T in the US, but Super X in the Japanese version.
I'm more of a Mr. T guy myself.
And of course, like I said, they had Third Strike. And there was only one version of that. But yeah, so it's like a 15th anniversary, basically, with this collection. And then we get a lot more collections from here on. As time goes on, we'll keep getting collections that don't have games. So I'm like, this is a Street Fighter collection, but why don't they have all the Street Fighters up here? Why don't they have one? Why can't they just put one up here?
Because we all know one is bad.
Yeah, even though I don't care about one. I went to play, I think in one of the recent Street Fighter collections, I think I played, I said, let me try out 1. And then I was like, oh, God, this is stupid. Let me just, I just might as well just go to 2. What else came out? You had Star Ocean Till the End of Time came out. And this is an RPG that there's a lot of people who liked. I did not really like it. This is when I think I started really this is at a time when I was beginning to dislike anime or something, because I was like, why did they talk like this? Why did he keep repeating what someone said? Someone would say we have to go to Space Mountain. And then the guy would say, we have to go to Space Mountain. But they do that for a lot of things. Why do you keep repeating what he said? Yes, that's what the fuck he said. What the fuck are you repeating? But that's just the way they talk in anime. They do that. But, this was probably because Star Ocean, I think I don't know if it was a cult classic. I don't know. But there were some fans of it, and then this game, it looked good. I mean, hey, I like space and then fantasy. It was like, hey, put that together. That's cool. But yeah, I like and that how did it? I guess it sold really well. I mean, I guess people really liked it because they did a remake, right? Or remaster, was it a remake or remaster? Second Story, I think it was called.
I can't remember.
No, Second Story is the first one. Where is it? Yeah, it came out like just a few years ago. I'm gonna say, but
First Departure R, because they have the Second Story R. They have First Departure R.
Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like one of those anime type of titles, you know, those fun Japanese art.
Here's a random letter for you.
But yeah, this was but like under like RPG fans, it was people really liked it. It got like an 81 on Game Rankings, 80 on Metacritic. They got 72 on PS4, so. I guess it went down. I guess because they didn't improve anything. I don't know. That must
better
be for
than these graphics now, Dominic.
But it is number 58 on the top 100 PlayStation 2 games list of IGN.
Man, I didn't know IGN could be so wrong.
Yeah. This game, what's the story? Yeah, it's just the story. The universe of Star Ocean is science fiction and nature. Oh, no shit. Although in the first two games in the series, much of the plot is set on a underdeveloped planet. The game is set in SD-772. It features a galaxy-spanning government in the Pan-Galactic Federation. Several races and species of aliens, different factions, multiple colonized planets, and advanced technology. Despite having a science fiction atmosphere, a form of magic exists in the universe. Symbology, also known as heraldry in the Japanese version, and in Star Ocean, the Second Story, which is the first story, standard symbology involves tattooing crests and runes onto one's flesh to draw out apparently latent power in the form of spells, and numerous underdeveloped planets make extensive use of it. Despite its supernatural connotations, symbology is treated as a legitimate field of scientific study in the universe. So yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna go into the deep story of like the character's name and stuff, but these names are looking familiar to me when I'm looking at them. I was like, yeah, I remember. And I think I got to like near the very end, and I just said, I'm not playing anymore. I said I was done. What else came out? Oh, this ain't worth mentioning. I should have took that off. But and this is probably not worth mentioning either, but I'm just going to mention it anyway. WWE Day of Reckoning was released on GameCube. Was this a good game, Daniel?
It was okay. It was still like, this isn't WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy, but it's like as close as I'm gonna get on the at the time next generation console.
I got 79 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I believe this is also the one. I think I only rented this one. But the story mode is like they're building a stadium for WrestleMania, or an arena for WrestleMania or something, and you're like fighting through construction zones and all sorts of stupid stuff. So like you're fighting construction workers and trying to throw them off the building. It's really dumb, but I remember having somewhat fond memories of it.
It was a Day of Reckoning too?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if I ever actually played that one though.
And that's it. Oh, Stacy Keibler was on the front of that one. Oh, she was still a thing at that time too?
Yeah, it probably would have been right around the end of her time there, because that was 2005, so that would have been after I graduated high school. So
yeah, see, Randy Orton was on the front of Day of Reckoning. It was Trish Stratus, Randy Orton, and Triple H.
Yep.
I didn't know who Randy Orton was because I stopped wrestling. Yeah,
it's actually kind of funny, like seeing who's on the front of 1 versus 2. Well, okay, that's Triple H. That kind of looked like Stone Cold on the cover of 2, and I'm like, John Cena and Stone Cold. I don't even remember them really crossing over like that. But that's Triple H with his like, God, I can't think of his name, but dude from metal band that he loves, his his era of facial hair like that. His Lemmy facial hair. That's what I was trying to think of. So, yeah, but that must have been near the end of Stacy Keibler being with the company, I feel like, because shortly thereafter she would have been hooking up with George Clooney.
Yeah. So Day of Reckoning, was that a event? Is that an event for WWE?
I'm trying to think if they ever actually did a pay-per-view called Day of Reckoning. I want to say yes. But I don't know that it was one that happened several years. Yeah. I don't know. Let's say pay-per-view. WD Day of Reckoning just takes me straight back to the video game again. So yeah, I don't know why they chose that title, because it doesn't look like there is a pay-per-view by that name. Just sounded cool, Dominic.
All right, so what else came out? Well, nothing came out, but there was Acclaim Entertainment has shut down its doors.
Something went in. Never came out
20
again.
years ago.
That's a shame. Acclaim was one of the biggest publishers when we were young. You know, their name was on everything.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to bring it up to see all the games they have done. NBA Jam. Of course, they were the publishers of Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
They were also the publishers of Shadow Man, we all loved.
That's probably what put them out of business. That contest where they were like, look, well, if you put Shadow Man on your gravestone or whatever, we'll pay you $100 million.
They're the ones. They did. Wait a minute. They were the ones who published The Death and Return of Superman. They were the ones who did that.
Okay.
But that was developed by Blizzard.
Blizzard, that's what it was. Yeah. For some reason, I had it in my head as Rare, but yeah, it was Blizzard that developed that game. It's such a weird thing.
Also, they published the Spider-Man, the animated series game. Yes, I remember playing that on Genesis. Yep. They did a lot of licensed stuff, man. They had Batman Forever. Look, they're crossing over there. DC, man. What the hell?
That's what it's like to cover all your bases, Dominic.
Yeah, man.
They also had that hit Vex.
They had Judge Dredd.
Summer Heat Beach Volleyball. They were ahead of their time.
Oh, they published Myst for Saturn. They were the publishers Myst for Saturn, though. Only Saturn.
Don't forget their greatest accomplishment, Dominic. BMX XXX.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to see the latest games they did was in 2004, of course. They had a game called Creed, which I can't click on, but I guess it was that bad. This is not based on the band.
I can only hope that they will take me higher.
Oh, they did do Showdown Legends of Wrestling. That was their last wrestling game they did. Yeah, you see Hulk Hogan on the front, looking at Sting, Macho Man Randy Savage. Is that
It's Andre, Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake.
Yeah, man. A cool cover, but I don't know about the game. Carmen Sandiego, The Secret of the Stolen Drums.
Okay. I thought she was bigger than just stealing drums. I thought she was stealing Eiffel Towers and condoms.
No, she's just a petty thief now. Carmen Sandiego stole some bubble gum. From a convenience store. We gotta go stop her.
Head after her, Chief.
All right. Oh yeah, I remember they did the All-Star Baseball with Derek Jeter on the front.
Oh yeah.
And then he moved on to 2K. And I felt kind of bad buying that game, but that was like the why did I get that game? I don't think because I don't think EA was doing one. Yeah, EA wasn't doing it. 2K was the only one doing it. All right. So where are we at here? So we're going back 40 years. So 40 years ago, 1994.
No. 30 years.
No, 30. I'm sorry. I was confused too. I was like, wait a minute. I was confused as I was saying that. I say, how old am I? Is that how? It's 30 years ago. I'm sorry. We're leaving 20 years ago to 30 years ago. Earthbound was released in Japan, and this was RPG, which seems to be beloved. I never played it. But I just have to listen to what everybody says and say, hey, it was a very nice, beloved game. It was a great RPG. Yeah, that's what people tell me.
They should do a full 3D remake of it, or at least like a Link's Awakening style. I think that style would fit that game well.
Still could have done that 3 times over, man, or something like that. God damn. Like there's so much they could have done.
They just refuse.
But yeah, I mean, it's a game I always wanted to play, and then I think when it was available on the Wii Shop or something like that, I was like, oh, I guess I can play it now, and I still didn't.
Yeah.
And even when I was available to even do it like piracy or something like that, I still didn't do it.
Whoa, we don't condone that.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it because it was wrong.
Exactly.
But it was. See, that's not what the cool kids do. But. Yeah. So I just never got into it, but people just talk about how like, hey, this was a great RPG that just never came over here, and it's only in Japan. And I said, hell, because I didn't know who that person was. Like, oh, that's the guy from Smash.
Yeah.
Who I didn't know where they came from. I thought he was just like, hey, maybe some Nintendo kid or something. Well, maybe that's what it is. Like maybe that's some character in Japan. All right. What else we have here? Echo, the Tides of Time, which is Echo 2, basically. This is Echo the Dolphin, which a game I really love. I did play this game, and I played it just the same as I did play the first game, where I did not go any further in the level than where you start from, where you could just flip through the water. I just was so satisfied with that, because every time I try to go further, I drown. And I didn't know how to freaking get air. And just like this game, I think I got maybe a little bit further than the first one, but eventually I just said, no, I just want to go flip around. I just want to go flip around in the ocean with the other dolphins. Yeah, like, cause I used to get down and say, oh yeah, so because first time I realized, like, oh look, there's caverns down here in the first game, and then I was like, oh, I can't breathe. Where's the air? And I just never got that far. But yeah, it definitely looked better. I know that. I remember it looking better than the first one and everything. But I don't know what this was rated. Like, what did the gaming public, like, how did they like this one? Honestly,
we thought it was trash.
But I'm just mad they didn't make a new Echo game. Sega.
That's gonna be part of one of their like mega games that they're putting out.
And Echo Tides of Time was also on Sega CD. It was also on Sega CD. That might have came out later though. Let me see what I don't see no really reception. I don't see a score, but let's see. But Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it a 7.25, declaring it an improvement over the original, though for the opposite reason. 2 of the reviewers said it was much more difficult than the first game. They particularly applaud the game's remarkable, colorful graphics. Next Generation reviewed the Genesis version of the game, rating it 3 stars out of 5, saying that the taxing puzzles, RPG elements, and shooting stages, and some of the best Genesis graphics to date make you want to reel Echo 2 in. Oh yeah, reel in dolphins.
Wow,
that's what we do. Yeah,
up.
we just go capture them. Yeah, we just go capture
Japan.
dolphins. But yeah, see, those things are not good for a kid like me at that time. To be like RPG elements and puzzles. Come on, man. I wasn't trying to think. So yeah, I would never got that far in that game. But yeah, was it cool? I was always mad because like, man, I see that screenshot of the killer whale and the shark. I said, I'll never get there. Just like an X-Men game, but I never got to see Magneto. All right. What else is there? That's it. So now, since it's a new month, man, you know what we do. We do video game covers, magazine covers. So let's quickly get through this. We're going back 10 years to 2014. We're looking at Edge magazine, and what they got on the front? No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. 10 years ago, man. This is, oh man, did the game come out 10 years ago too? Is this the year it comes out, or I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
And maybe But
Are we
it's
sure
close,
that game
but
hasn't been out 20 years at this point now?
that is, yeah, it's a long time.
It came out in 2016. We got a couple of years before we get to.
So this is when we like first heard about it. We were like so excited for it.
August 9th too. So yeah, it's almost it's literally 2 more years before we get to that.
With the seamless like universe, that's what it felt like. It's like a seamless universe. You go to plan. I mean, like we saw at E3, the stuff, and heard people talk about it, and it's like, man, sounds so awesome. I was really excited for this game. And then it came out to a big disappointment. But look at where the game is now. I mean, the game is now is just totally different from when it first came out, and better. And survival game. And you know what? That it's a survival game, which is really big now. Like, I mean, that genre is huge, and people really like it. And I wouldn't say it really paved the way. I mean, you probably can go further. Maybe Minecraft still kind of was huge with that. And then you got games like Rust and stuff that I heard about. But Minecraft, because Minecraft, I think was like the beginning, like the really simple type of survival thing, because you didn't have to eat or nothing. But it was kind of start. I mean, like where everybody can get into, and then I had to look up, like somebody has to have like a tell, like, hey, what was the first big like survival game that people were really into that was like community driven, something like that. Even though No Man's Sky was like, it wasn't really thought to be community driven really, because they said like, yeah, you like you're in the same world as people, we probably won't see nobody. They said you might not see anybody because how big the universe is or something like that. So it was like, oh, so you might not see any people, but you might see a planet that somebody had already discovered because they already named it, because they got there first. See, it was a cool idea. It was a cool idea. It wasn't executed very well at the very beginning, but it got there. And hey, it wasn't, I mean, I didn't hear, it didn't get shut down or anything, so they must be doing pretty well over there, so good for them. And at the time, it was only PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I think it was on PC and PlayStation.
PC,
I don't
forgot about that.
So we got the Xbox magazine, and we got Halo arrives on Xbox One. This is the Master Chief Collection with all the Halos. This is what got me to get an Xbox, because I saw that they were remaking 2. They were up-resing all the other games to run at a smooth 60 frames. I was like, yes, I want this game. And yeah, it was awesome, because I didn't play multiplayer. So anybody who had problems with it, multiplayer, I felt bad for. And I tried it just to see if it could be played, and yeah, it had problems. But I was like, this ain't what I got it for, though. I got it for the single player. I'm like one of the few Halo people who play it for single player. It's like there's plenty of people like me. I found them on the internet. They who just play for single player mostly. But yeah, 4 games, a TV series. Yeah, that's right. They had that TV series with that guy who's currently playing in Evil, the television series. He stars in that, the black guy. He was a Spartan, which he appears in 5, but not his voice, which that's very confusing. Whatever. But yes, they had it in the Halo 5 beta. Yeah, you got it to the Halo 5 beta if you got this game. Plus 18 new next-gen games are also inside the magazine. Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft's all-new squad shooter revealed. Man, that still has not come out yet, and that game is still going. Crackdown, destroy a new city on Xbox One, and we will be very disappointed about this game. We'll be highly disappointed. Man. Plus Sunset Overdrive, PGA meets Battlefield. Well, what the fuck does that mean?
That's a good question.
You mean golf?
Oh, is that maybe dangerous golf?
I do remember a golf thing being like in the middle of like a minefield or something. Like looked like it was a minefield or something like that. But
yeah.
Or unless is that like a mode in their EA's version golf game?
Yeah,
they had something that
there's
where it was like a Battlefield
Call of Duty. Well, Battlefield, obviously.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 2. Oh yeah, that's huge.
Maybe they
Inside. Look at that.
Inside. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Yes, the best Assassin's Creed. And Phantom Dust. Phantom Dust. Oh yeah, that's right. They were bringing. This is an old game, right? That was only in Japan, and they brought it over so we can play it.
Was it a game or I can't remember.
I just remembered like it was an old game. It was an old game. It never released here. I think it released on the original Xbox, and then we finally got to play it, and it wasn't worth my time. Oh, Far Cry 4. Why we love weaponized elephants. Yes, I remember that. Riding elephants. Yeah, it's like you were in the Himalayas or something, or Nepal or something like that. Yeah, so that's the Xbox magazine. So now we're looking at Game Informer magazine, and we got Assassin's Creed Rogue on the front. It should have been Unity. Should have been Unity up here, but no. Rogue is the sequel to Black Flag, right?
Yeah, it like takes place around the same time or something like that. Or maybe around the same.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, but this was like the current gen thing. Like it wasn't on the next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually it did come. You can play it on next gen, but yeah, it was still current gen. While they had Unity for the next gen, and people would joke, it's like, oh, how this is better than Unity because he was all kind of messed up. Never played this one. Never touched this one. Never touched this game.
I played very little bit of it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this was I'd say like the beginning of Assassin's Creed in this weird state. But it was like a weird state where it still was popular, still sold, but it just wasn't critically acclaimed like it used to be. It just wasn't up there with critics, like people talking about it like it once was. Like this is kind of until the Egyptian one came out, Origins came out. I mean, even then it's better. It's better than what some of these were really. I mean, I think it's still at a better place than what it was around this time. But we'll see with this next one. Well, it all depends where you're at. I mean, it's the worst ever. This was going to be the worst ever for some people. I mean,
no matter what.
This is going to be just like E.T. level of bad kind of game coming out here. All right, so now we're going back 20 years. 20 years to PlayStation, the unofficial PlayStation magazine. We look like this ugly ass Kratos on the front here. This is our top pick, God of War, and yeah, it was. But I wish I just had a better art for this guy. But yeah, God of War is on the front, man. This is going to be like coming on the biggest hit on PlayStation. This is next mega hits. 5 must-have games you won't want to miss. Let me turn this fan off now. I think I'm good. Also, 100 million sold special. PS1 retired. It's officially retired, man. They did an announcement, did a press conference up there. It came up there.
PSM can't announce that. They're independent. They're not official. Trying to put them in an early grave. They could have sold 200 million.
Our final top 10 games on that system. Also, new section, PSP and PS3. Oh, shucks. And world exclusive hands-on, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw, Need for Speed, Underground 2. What was better, SmackDown vs. Raw or The Reckoning?
For me, I would say Reckoning, but okay. I think the consensus might have been... Well,
for you, why? Just because it was on the GameCube?
Exactly. Okay. And because it played more in the vein of like the 64 games. I think the consensus would probably be SmackDown.
Okay, as it should be. All right. Yeah. It's like I don't know. I don't really know all this stuff. All right. And that is anything else worth mentioning up here. I think we're good. Oh, world number one PlayStation magazine still number one.
Still holding out.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to Edge magazine, and we got Samus on the front here.
Hell yeah,
Samus, and she is in Metro Prime 2 on the trail of Samus Aran's journey into the Dark World. Yes, that's when you go to Light and Dark World. Yep. They Nintendo could have milked it. They could have had 2 games. They could have had the Dark game and the Light
Prime
game.
2 Light, Metroid Prime 2 Dark.
Yeah, what were they thinking? But yeah,
they were thinking people don't buy Metroid games. Period. We shouldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly. But no, but it was a good game though, and it turned out to be pretty good. And yeah, coming out the same time around Halo, which is I think there is a cover for Game Informer where it's like
They're making out.
nah, I think they mentioned I don't know if is it a two cover thing or was it on both or I'm just misremembering. Probably I'm misremembering. But I thought it was pretty cool that they had Samus and Master Chief, like they're both those games coming out at the same time. I think that was pretty cool. All right. And they got some words over here that are pretty small. Here we go. I can zoom on them. Preview GTA San Andreas, World of Warcraft, Burnout 3. Also reviewed Sadeki. That was that Xbox game, wasn't it? It was some. I don't know exactly what you did in that. Front Mission 4. Oh yeah, Front Mission games. Gradius 5. I don't even remember. Yeah, I do remember Gradius. I do remember them. Yeah. Chronicles of Riddick. Oh, Chronicles of Riddick. Darn, that hasn't come out yet.
That seems crazy.
Man. Also interviewed Epic on Unreal 3. Oh man, how's the Unreal engine's going to look? Oh, I don't even know what they're talking about the engine. Maybe they're talking about Unreal 3. I have no idea.
Why not both?
And the future of PC auctioneers. Action. What's this? Is it? Oh, I said auction now. Actioneers. And plus treasure from Mega Drive, Gold Star Heroes to Guardian. I have no idea what it says right here on the Game Boy Advance. This is Guardian. Hated. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Guardian Heroes on the Game Boy Advance.
Gunstar Heroes to Guardian Heroes.
Yeah, Gunstar Heroes to Guardian Heroes.
One.
Yeah, okay. We got Xbox Magazine here from 2004. We got Conquer Live and Reloaded is on the front here,
He was so cool.
I still have not completed this game. Like, I only got far in this game. And I always keep saying, hey, I'm going to come back and play it. And
yeah.
I never do.
Similar.
But yeah, so Conquer is finally on Xbox. I was a little jealous. I was like, damn, they got the rare games. They're going to have the nice rare games on Xbox. Never took really advantage of that.
Nope.
Never took advantage of it.
It made some great avatars, though.
Yeah.
I can see the bottom of their feet.
Fighting in Nam. Fighting in Nam. Nam or Nam, tomato. New details on Men of Valor, Cell Shock Nam 67, Conflict Vietnam.
Man, it was a different time.
Yeah, man. I remember all those games too, man.
Yep.
Xbox Gets Dirty. Look up here. Woo! Playboy the Mansion game. Leisure Suit Larry. The Guy game. And more. We get giddy with games for grown-ups.
There's one game on this cover that I beat, and it's not Conquer.
Well, Leisure Suit Larry?
Yep.
You also got Pimp My Ride here. Need for Speed. Let's see. Let me read this. We hit the skids with the best in Turner Xbox Racing.
Tuner.
Tuner.
Yeah,
okay.
when you pump up your car.
Tuner. Yeah, that makes more sense. Need for Speed Underground 2. Juiced. I had to look that up.
I vaguely remember Juiced. It's like Need for Speed Underground if it were on an end cap at Walmart.
Is it a green background with it?
I don't remember that.
Is it green anywhere on it?
Yes, it is very green. It's got a green car. It's like green and yellow mostly.
Yes. Yep. Then I remember now. Street Racing Syndicate. I don't remember that. Crash and Burn.
I think that was the one that was just like SRS on the cover.
It has an S on the cover?
Like it was SRS, real big instead of like Street Race Syndicate. Yeah, it had a lady on there in a bikini top and some low-rise jeans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah.
I remember that one.
That's how you get people to buy that game.
I mean, I don't think it works still for them, but it was worth a shot, I guess.
Darn, I lost my cover here. Where am I at? Oh, here we are. Also, we got reviewed Madden versus ESPN 2K5. Oh, this is it. I think this is it.
We knew who the winner was.
and then they
The
killed
one
it.
with the most money.
Yep. And then Madden said, "No, we're gonna kill you." Darn, man, and that's to this day, that shit has stayed. That's some fucked up shit, man. That's fucked
That's
up.
the NFL for you, Dominic. You gotta blame them. They let it happen.
I mean, I do blame them. Blame them for a lot of shit. Plus
the video game.
plus Driver 3, Spider-Man 2, Rainbow Six 3, Black Arrow, and exclusive Galleon review. And I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that's some ship battle game. All right. Now we're going back to 1994 to GamePro, and we got Superman and Supermen on the front here. The Death and Return of Superman. So this is when I know there is a game, which I did not even know there was a game to the longest.
I feel like I remember it from Blockbuster.
How long did the game come out till after the comic?
No idea.
Yeah. Like, I want to know, did Superman even come back to life by then?
Yeah.
Did this game come out? Because I don't know how long Superman stayed dead, honestly.
Me neither.
I didn't read the comics. Yeah. So the Death Return of Superman from comics to cart. They got the pro strategy for it too, and the Incredible Hulk. And they got Mortal Kombat 2, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Gear, Game Boy. Yeah, that's about to come out, or already did. Heart of the Alien review. What the hell that is? Blackthorn. Okay, I know that. Primal Rage. I know that game. Mega Man 5 for Game Boy. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes, I don't know which one that is though, but it's in this Super Nintendo one. That was a good one. Genesis one was a fighting game, and I was pissed off about that. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I was like, I want a Super Nintendo one. Previews of Revolution X and more. What is Revolution X?
Revolution X. Is that the music game?
Oh, it's a game. Okay. Showstoppers, Summer Consumer Electronics Show, Virtual Fighter Deluxe, Killer Instinct, Nintendo Ultra 64. Daniel, I can't wait till that comes out.
Revolution X featured Aerosmith, Dominic.
Oh, so this is music.
Yep.
Earthworm Jim, Contra, Hard Corps, Donkey Kong Country, and The Lion King. War. What is this? What else we got here? We're going to Sega Visions, and we got here. Looks like fire. This is a fireman. At first I thought it was like a World War II guy with like some type of pipe bomb or something in his hand. But yeah. So this is a game which I never heard of. Fahrenheit. He's from the game Fahrenheit. She's in small print here. The sizzling new game for Sega CD 32X. Yeah, a game I never heard of, but it's like one of those full motion video games, kind of like Night Trap and shit like that, where you just have like people acting and then doing shit. Hot 32-bit arcade action just hit home. Super Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. Slug it out on your Genesis on page 18. Special feature, Taz Escapes from Mars. I never played that one. Never played that game. Wonder if it's better than the original Tasmania game. Get a taste of non-traditional combat with brutal balls and clay fighters. Clay fighters. Yes,
Balls also was a very good game. Well, I don't know about very good game, but I had it for the Super Nintendo and I liked it a lot.
What was brutal?
I don't know about brutal.
First, look at Echo 2 and Disney's Lion King. Lion King was a good game.
Lion King was a good game. It was hard.
And the guy says Sega. He said that's what he's yelling right there. Sega.
They need to bring that back, but like make them not yell it because we're too weak nowadays to have that kind of aggressive talk.
Well, that's it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a break. When we get back, get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. It is official. Valve has a new game that we've previously talked about because it leaked several weeks ago. Deadlock. Nothing official as far as when it's going to release.
Code name for Halo 3. I mean, say Halo 3. I mean, Half-Life 3.
There's been some talk recently of Half-Life 3 possibly being in active development, but I will see that when I believe it, because like I'm sure somebody in Valve is working on that game, because you can just work on whatever you want in Valve, it seems like. But I don't know that it's in a state that we're going to see it anytime soon. So.
I'm mad that they worked on this game. This is not what I want. This is not what I want from Valve, man. Like, I do not care.
It's definitely not what I want.
Like, for me, this is me personally, but still. But I'm saying, there's enough hero shooters. I don't care that it's a good game and it's something a little different. I mean, it's a little mobile-esque. I mean, but I just feel like they don't need to make games for this space. Let somebody else do that.
Yeah.
You work on Half-Life 3 or just something else. Not this. Not this.
Yeah.
Like, you got CSGO and stuff, man. I just feel like, CSGO 2. I just feel like, let that be, and work on another game, man. Like, work on a nice single-player game. Or co-op-ish or something.
Or single player game. Yep, do single player.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just don't want it to be nothing that has to be like you have to be online.
Would you be excited for a new Left 4 Dead at this point, Dominic?
From them, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
From them, yes. Because it's still that formula is still the best.
Mm.
Still the best. Like, even the guys who did Left 4 Dead, who did the last game. Like I said, because they did monetization stuff,
right?
Like,
because they changed.
That wasn't
enough.
That wasn't the problem, though. But it's just that it was there, and like, let me just get this weapon. I don't have to worry about weapons. The weapons are already like, and that's the thing Left 4 Dead. The weapons are there.
Yeah,
they are in the game. You get what you get. Like, I wish. Hey, focus on costumes. That's the big thing. If you want to do monetization, focus on costumes. People love costumes. They love costumes and what's it called? What's the paint the stuff that's paint on guns? What's it called? The
weapon skins.
The skins, the skins. Yeah. And they love skins, man. So just deal with that.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, yeah, you can do level up. Just say you level up, you get a new loot box. That you get a new skin that you can get, either a new skin or a new emote or something like that, like something that's very just superficial, you know.
Absolutely, something it's not going to affect my gameplay, but
yeah,
you know, I might be so inclined to buy if I can play as Iron Spider in your stupid game that has nothing to do with Spider-Man. Fortnite, I'm looking at you. All right, Dominic, there was a relatively short, I mean, it was about 45 minutes, Nintendo Indie Showcase coupled with a
I mean, we didn't really talk about Deadlock, really, though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I kind of brushed past it. Hold on. It's a MOBA-esque game, right?
It's a MOBA shooter, yeah.
Yeah, okay, MOBA shooter. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's just what Battleborn was, and it seems like, yeah, that it failed.
But lacking the single player stuff that we all wanted.
Exactly. See, I wanted the Battleborn. See, Battleborn did have that, and this that's not going to have that. But it's made by Valve, so it's going to be better. Just because I honestly want somebody to do a real deep dive and say, like, they played Battleborn. And, like, just be realistic. Like, why is Battleborn bad compared to this? Or is it just it came out the wrong time? Like, what was it? Because I look at these characters.
Has a lot to do with it.
I look at these characters that's in this game that because the way the game looks is not super colorful like Overwatch and even, I guess, Marvel Rivals and Concord, I guess. I don't know. But
Concord's weird because it's got its own, like it's going for realistic, but they do have some interesting variety in their character designs.
Yeah. I'm just looking at these characters. I mean, they're different. I see, like, this pig Sherlock Holmes looking motherfucker. But, like, they're interesting characters, like, but it's not grabbing me like how Overwatch was.
No,
it's
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that in this game. So the game may be great, but it's not. Yeah, it's not like those characters are not like just popping out at me though.
I think this game is going to rely a lot on just being Valve to get its foot in the door, and then once you get to the actual gameplay, I'm sure it's going to be so refined and feel great because it is a Valve game.
Yeah.
That maybe it'll catch on from there, but if this were a game made by any other studio, nobody would really probably care.
And that's the thing. I feel like this was a game made, by anybody else, anyone else. I mean, I'm trying to think of another studio, Nintendo. Nintendo would have to make this game, and that wouldn't even make any sense. Like
it would be their Splatoon, variant of a similar concept.
But no, I mean, like with just these characters. That's what I'm saying. Like with these characters,
Gotcha.
like somebody else's name was on this game, I think it'd just be dead in the water.
Yeah,
it'll be
Put
similar
Randy
to what
Pitchford's name on this. It's dead.
Yeah, I think being Valve, and the way they're and because I mean Steam, and they already got like people, they know the people to go to really get this game out there for people to watch.
Yeah.
And really get into it. I mean, granted, they are not just saying that it probably does feel great and it's done well. But I'm just saying somebody else would have did it though, even done well.
Yeah.
Somebody will mention that though. They would say, "Hey, this game actually feels good." Blah, blah, blah.
It feels
but
good,
nobody's playing it.
It's a dead game.
It's
already.
one of those things. Yeah, not because it's a bad game.
No, and it's even kind of clever. Like there's like a weird disconnect here because like the art style itself doesn't do anything for me, but like I'm watching this dude who's basically shooting with finger guns, and I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's interesting. Yeah, it's just not. I mean, it's not the way like bright colors and it's like whoa, vibrant and like in a way how Overwatch did it.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily exaggerated features or anything like that either. It's very like humanoid type.
Like I would like to play a single gear in this kind of world.
Yeah,
like this, the way it looks like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do have to say this is early access, so like obviously a lot about this can change. I don't know that they would drastically change any art styles or anything like that, but I think it could definitely be refined quite a bit, and that would put this more in line with an Overwatch, which just is oozing charisma and just validity, I guess. You look at Overwatch and you go, this is a game made by a top tier team, even though obviously people have their problems with Overwatch too, but that's the problem with the expectations, I think. Overwatch 1 was such a hit, and then they didn't seem to really have any new ideas for Overwatch 2, or at least the ones that they did have seemed to all not pan out for them, like the first person stuff and whatnot. Whereas, just like taking away stuff. What's it? The single player stuff. Sorry.
Okay. I was about to say it's already first person.
Yeah, they switched it to first person and just messed up the whole game.
That's the difference between like Rivals is third person. I didn't. Yeah, Rivals. Marvel Rivals is third person.
Yeah, and so is this one.
And so is this one. Yep. And so was Battleborn was first person. I don't know.
Which I think that's I learned from Fortnite type thing, right? Is like, we got to make these games third person, because if you make them third person, then you can see the skin that you are, and you're more inclined to buy a new skin instead of just seeing like a new pair of hands and other people seeing your skin. Like, I don't care what other people see. I want to see my skin. So I think that's why we're going to see a lot more of these games be third person than first person. So
yeah, that makes it. That's why I was like with I forgot what game we were playing, because I was like, I can't see myself.
Yeah.
I said, why do I care about this skin? I think it was something in Gears, when Gears started doing that. I was like, I can't see who I am. What does it matter?
I can't tell I'm Trucker Dizzy and not regular Dizzy.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. So I'm gonna get into the Nintendo stuff, even though we usually kind of end with that stuff because it's so much. But there's some
Yeah, go ahead. Go
some
ahead.
stuff that feels like it's maybe a little bigger than this Nintendo stuff. So we're gonna run through this real quick. They had about a 45-minute show that combined both an indie showcase and a partner direct. There's a lot of speculation that they move this up out of September because September is going to potentially have the Switch 2 reveal. That could be very exciting. It also seems like it might have the PlayStation Pro reveal. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first up in the indie showcase was Balatro. It's getting new card faces, basically new decks, including Witcher style deck, Vampire Survivors, Dave the Diver, and Among Us decks. It's called the Friends of Jimbo update, and that is free and out now. So if you are into that game, you now have some pretty cool looking card art to add to your collection. After that was the Greece studio. They're making Neva, which looks a lot more like a game than Greece ever was to me. Like the art style of Greece was very beautiful, but like when
Every time you say Grease, man, I just think of like the movie, the musical.
Grease
Just think of the musical.
Lightning. But I bought that game and then started playing it, and I just had no idea what I was actually supposed to be doing or accomplishing in it. I was just moving around, and I felt like I never got anywhere. So this looks to add some like actual like combat and stuff to that. And obviously, like that game didn't seem like a game that was necessarily going to be about combat, but I needed some sort of objective, and I wasn't getting that immediately. So I kind of just moved on real quick. After that was Moth Kubit. This game, you're playing as a little moth guy, and he's doing a whole bunch of different activities. It looks weird.
Yeah, it does.
It's just, it really looks weird.
Yeah, but it looks like it could be fun. Like one of those. Yeah, it looks like it'd be pretty fun. Like it's just like it's one of those weird games, kind of like Dave the Diver and what other game? I'm trying to think of. I mean, it's just yeah. It's one of those like weird. It's not like a platformer, or it's like a
it's almost like a life sim, but
yeah.
It's almost like you got mini games doing all these other things.
Yeah.
So
I'm like how Dave the Diver, like, oh, you're going around diving, but then you're in the sushi shop,
right?
And you're fixing sushi and stuff. Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, because in this one you're like painting, and then you're doing what was the other one that called out to me? Doing like dodgeball or something. So,
yeah.
Very, very odd looking too. Next up was Coffee Talk Tokyo.
Yeah, so Coffee Talk must be really popular, man. Because I played some of that game, and it seems just like a visual novel kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's mostly. I think you
can choose what kind of advice you give, and I don't know. I never got that far in the game, so I never knew like, does my advice have any meaning, or did he come back and be like, oh, you were wrong.
He ruined my life.
With me. Yeah.
Yep.
She took everything.
I would. Would not be at all.
Or can you make bad coffee? Or like if you make some bad coffee, it's like, oh god, this coffee's horrible.
My dad.
What the hell is it? Yeah. I don't care about your damn advice. You can't make coffee.
Yeah, so that's coming out in 2025. Next up was Sea of Stars: Throes of the Watchmaker.
Okay, I must have
DLC.
missed this because I didn't see everything from the Indie Direct.
I always forget how good this game looks, Dominic. Like I clicked away from this window and came back, and it was playing the video, and I'm like, man, I know this isn't like an old SNES game. Like it's not that sharp. And then I was like, oh, this is Sea of Stars. Man, this looks good.
Yeah, it was a good looking game. So what is this? Is this a sequel or like?
It's just DLC for it.
For the DLC, okay.
Yeah, for the first game. But it looks like it's going to expand story-wise. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean the way it ends because it's different endings, so it's interesting. I was supposed to go back and get the good ending, and I never did. I told you. So
Yeah.
that's the only bad thing with games like for me now is that can I please just get the good ending in one playthrough, please? It's like,
All right. After that was Power Wash Simulator, the Shrek Special Pack.
oh wow, I see that.
Yep,
Yeah.
this is coming out fall 2024, and you're in Shrek Swamp, and you're cleaning rainbow gunk off of his
Oh, so I'm about to
muddy
say
swamp.
because you shouldn't be, yeah, because it wouldn't make sense to clean it because he likes it dirty, but clean the rainbow stuff off makes
Yeah.
more sense for that. Yeah,
It's so funny because literally, like, you're cleaning, and underneath of it is mud, but it's like that's what
Yeah.
what he wants, so that's what you do. You can also get like a night costume, so
I see like you have a partner because I see a
yeah, you
partner
can do
in there,
multiplayer stuff. Yeah,
and this night costume doing it.
yep. Just want to be Farquaad. All right. After that was Morsels. This game just looks gross. Like it has a very gross art style to it. It looks good, but it looks like you're playing as like a piece of poop in some cases. It looks like you're changing between characters, but like it looks awesome and ugly at the same time. Like it's
Yeah, it
very
has like
intentionally
that old schooly.
ugly.
It has like a almost like a Super Nintendo 2 and to like the PlayStation 4 kind of look to it. Like but it wasn't really smooth at
Yeah.
that. Like it's hard. You gotta see it because at some point I even see something that looks like it's a little more 3D ish. You get somewhere that looks a little more 3D ish than what is that? I think it's like this is really quick. If you see you'll see like almost like a 3D looking
Yeah, like I
world
wouldn't be
or something like that.
surprised if this is kind of like the Warhammer game where it looks like an old school Doom game, but really that's just a filter on top of 3D models. Like if you told me these were all actually just 3D models that then have filters applied to them to make them look like they're pixel art, I would absolutely believe that. That's coming out February 2025. After that was Date Everything. I think we've seen this game before. It's basically like a Dream Daddy style dating visual novel kind of thing. And you're just literally able to date anything. A cabinet, a wall, a lamp. They get like physical embodiments. And you try and hook up with them, I guess. So that visually looks pretty cool. I mean, they've got a cool aesthetic to them, but I don't know. It's not the game I'm looking for, Dominic. What do you think?
So like that's supposed to be like a lamp and it turns to a person or
Yep.
something. Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
These
And they
games,
all have like
they-
outfits designed like they're, whatever they're supposed to be. But
Yeah.
it seems very Dream Daddy like.
Yeah, as I said, people they obviously they must be into something like that because they keep making them. So
Yep.
that's good for those people.
Absolutely. All right. Next up is Peglin.
Sassy Chap, I think that's one of the developers called.
Sassy,
So yeah,
that's-
I can
that's
definitely
perfect.
see that.
Peglin, just like it kind of sounds like, is a Peggle style game where you're dropping a ball, pachinko style, and trying to knock off a whole bunch of little
Alright.
dots.
EA
but
needs to go ahead and get the lawsuit ready.
but they're adding in like roguelike elements. So along the top of the game is you like your character battling creatures. So if you like knock off a certain amount of
What are
balls,
you, like a goblin elephant or something?
it
What is
does.
that?
It looks, yeah, it looks, yeah, like a little goblin, almost like a Yoda-esque thing because it's got big pointy ears. Yeah, so that looks kind of cool. That's out now. Then Wobbly Life. This, I don't even know what you're doing in this. It looks like kind of a sandbox style thing with these
And I wonder
really
if the
simplistic
controls are-
characters,
Yeah, one of the controls are like weird. That's
like
why
a
you gotta,
co-op style thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's
yeah,
like
that's
I
why
got to
you
move
walk
all these
wobbly.
things.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
So that's coming out later this year. Next up is Pico Park. This looks like kind of a co-op platformer / puzzle solver where you're tethered together and you gotta work together to make things happen. And it goes up to like several partners that you can play with. I think it's like up to up to like 6 people, I think.
So they could do this. So I never knew about Pico Park. So this is
I didn't either. It's funny that we're on Pico Park 2 now. But this is one that's also out now. And yeah, it looks like it could be fun. It's very simplistic. After that, they showed Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DX. This is just an expanded version of Shovel Knight. Nothing really too new, but there is multiplayer in there now. All the DLC, everything like that. So basically everything that Shovel Knight has become at this point, it rolled up into one package. So that's cool. Next up was Europa. This is one we've seen before where it's like a little boy with a jetpack and he's just flying around. I think there's a demo out for that. I gotta pick that up and give that a try. Then it was Cuisiner. All these are kind of part of this like quick montage thing. That is like a Hades or a Diablo style quarter view. But it looks like you're fighting food or something like that. So maybe you're gathering like food and then bringing it back to cook it up or something like that. Let's see. Next up, On Your Tail. Looks like a world of... They don't quite look like cats, but maybe they're cats or like chipmunks or something like that. It looks kind of like one of those life sim style things. They showed more of Metal Slug Tactics. The Plucky Squire, that's going to be coming to the Switch. And Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower, of course, you played a bit of that and said that was really cool. I know people have compared that to Mario. So yeah, that is out now as well. And then we get into the Partner Direct, which kicked off with Tetris Forever, which is going to be like a documentary. Why am I not being able to say that? A documentary style game that includes all of the Tetris games that you could really want, basically. As well as like really cool new modes like Tetris Time Warp, where it will cycle through the different styles of Tetris. That's coming out later this year. And then winter of 2024, they're going to be putting Tetris onto the online Nintendo Online thing.
Oh, so it's and like Tetris 99 is coming back.
Yep. Well, I don't know that Tetris 99 ever went away. Pac-Man went away. But I think they're doing like a new, they occasionally when like a big game comes out, they'll do like different skins and stuff for it. And I think they're doing a new set of stuff for that. But that looks really cool. And you know, the history stuff that they do, I think it's, is it Other Ocean or Digital, I can't remember their name. But they do a really good job with those style games and kind of doing the documentary stuff as well. So that should be really neat. After that was Star Overdrive. This looks like a space surfboarding game. It looks like that could be kind of neat. But it also I can't tell if there's combat in it or not. It almost looks like you're doing like attacks while you're on your surfboard type thing. After that one was Goat Simulator 3. That's coming to the Switch. Actually, I think that's out now as well in digital form and then coming out later in physical. And then we had... Okay, so after that, they went into a montage again, right? And the first game that they show in this montage is The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First, which is coming out in 2025 and is a full 3D remake of the first Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky game. And like everyone that I've seen that is familiar with this game series is like, how do you just like announce this via like a 5-second clip in this trailer? Like, what are you doing? Now, the Japanese one, where I guess these games are more popular, did have like a more extended look at this, but for something that like, this is a serious looking remake, you know, it's kind of funny that they're just like, here's a thing.
Yeah, they just stuck it in there, man. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's probably not like, oh, it's a huge seller, but I mean, it's still it's an RPG.
But you don't couple it in there with Star Wars Hunters Season 3. Come on.
No, I mean, this is a remake. I mean, this is a remake of a game, of a series that's been going for a while now, and like, give it something. Like, give it like, even like, it was quick. It was just like quick, and plus for that to be the first announcement of it, like, that's just like, what? What is this? I mean, hell, I seen Nintendo do announcements of some games I didn't think that were that popular, and they talked it. You know, they talked about it a little bit. They gave it some time. I feel like this could have been that. Like, it could have been not long, but something quick, because it's the whole remake. Say, the remake of the first game of the Trail series is coming, or something like that. It could have said something like that. It was like, oh wow, that's you just put it quick. Like, somebody probably could have easily missed that shit and has been like, what the fuck was that? It's like, what the hell was that? That looked familiar, but I don't know what that was.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was that was weird. That they put it in there with like Disney Dreamlight Valley, the Worms,
Armageddon,
getting
Stalker.
Which I don't know. Like Stalker, like that.
Stalker also feels like it's bigger than that, but like it also for this audience, I guess it fits.
Yeah, maybe it's an audience, but yes, I didn't know Stalker was coming up here. I mean, it can be played because it's the old Stalker. It's the Legends of the Zone trilogy. But yeah, that's somewhat pretty big. That's big news too. So it's a little weird. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's get to SpongeBob.
I was going to say, we mentioned the games that were in that. Next up was SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game. Looks like this is kind of an open world sandbox thing where you're playing as Patrick, just kind of running around as if this was kind of Goat Simulator almost.
It really was, yeah. It really was. Yeah.
It looks cute. I don't know how much it's going to do for us, but maybe. After that, we had Fitness Boxing 3, your personal trainer. See, like right here, Dominic, they spend so much time talking about this game, which is probably because they probably sell pretty well. But like,
you need to give them time then. You'll need to give them time.
Exactly. They're already selling. What do you just tell people there's a new one out?
You could just said it's coming.
Yep. So it's good to see people are still being healthy with their Switches. All right, next up was the serious.
Like me.
What's that?
Or the attempt. The attempt to be healthy.
Same. All right, next up was Capcom Fighting Game Collection 2. It seems like this basically just gets any fighting games they already haven't put into a previous fighting game collection. We're talking 2D fighting games. We're talking 3D fighting games. Capcom versus SNK, Project Justice, which is like the rival schools, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Plasma Sword, Power Stone. Power Stone 2.
Power Stone's a game, I always heard people who had Dreamcasts talk about, man. I never played it.
Yeah.
I never played it. I mean, I would like to try it. I'm just looking at this game. It's like Plasma Sword. I bet you I probably wouldn't like that game.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. It's like
I probably would have liked it when I was younger just because I would just be willing to try stuff, but that I'd be like, oh, this 3D is all confused and say, fuck it. I ain't down with this.
Yeah.
I just need 2D.
Exactly. Now, if you told me that we were getting like what's the series where you turn into animals when you're fighting?
Bloody
Roar. Telling me it was getting a Bloody Roar collection. Then we'd be talking. But all right, but they followed that up with the announcement of Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. The release date is going to be September 12th, so we're like a month away at this point. Well, not even. We're like 2 weeks away. Jeez. So that is awesome. I am very excited to grab that when that comes out. Let's see. After that was Altair Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. This looks like an anime action game. Did this get your attention at all, Dominic?
Not really, because I don't really know that series. I mean, for people who know that series, yeah, that's it's a big deal.
Okay.
That's a huge deal. Yeah, but but I never played the series.
Yeah.
So,
and that is coming out in early 2025, according to them there. Next up was Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. I believe 1 is coming out relatively soon. And those look good. You know, they're doing the whole...
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit, the 2D HD kind of thing. So
yeah, and it looks... Yeah, and I'm interested in playing it, actually, again, because I didn't really give it much of a chance before. Even though my sister even let me have it because she said she didn't like it. She was into that stuff. But I was lost because it looked like Super Nintendo game. I said, "Well, I'm playing Super Nintendo game on this PlayStation, man." When I got this games like Final Fantasy and stuff, and I said, "Man, I ain't playing this." I'll give that a chance. And it's amazing how you got this remake, and then you got what we're going to talk about next, Dragon Quest 3
HD 2D remake, which also looks fantastic. So that should be awesome. After that, they showed off the Castlevania Dominus collection, which counts for the DS game. So you got like Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin,
what was it, Mid-Max? I think it was Mid-Max, and the guy, he was saying how he thinks Dawn of Sorrow is his favorite Castlevania game, even more than Symphony of the Night.
Oh, wow.
He likes it in that, and also how these are better because you don't have to do that draw the symbol thing anymore. It's easier. They say you can do it the right. They let you do it the right stick, or you can make it just simple. They say it's a button. You just press buttons.
Okay, I mean that's cool. So it's cool that they're doing this, and we've talked about this idea basically since the Switch came out. But like, instead of the way that they're doing it, where they have, you know, the majority of the screen be the gameplay, and then you have a smaller picture of the touch screen, I really wish they would give people the option, kind of like they did with Ikaruga when they released that game, to let you turn the Switch sideways and let you just have the top and the bottom screen. Like, it's still amazing to me that's not a thing that anyone's really committed to, or I mean, I don't want to say thought of, because I'm sure people have thought of it, but like maybe it's too much work to do that. But it's cool that these games are coming, but I think that would have been a neat feature. I will say, like, it's interesting to hear somebody say that like Dawn of Sorrow is their favorite one, just because there was so much backlash when that game first came out because of the art style change, going from, you know, very like gothic classic art style to a very like simplified anime art style. That I thought people were pretty down on those games in general. And, you know, as it went on, they moved a little more towards the more classic gothic art style by the third game. But yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get around to playing that, but it is cool that that's on there. And that it also comes with like a bonus game as well. That's something that wasn't available previously. So that seems pretty cool. After that, they showed off Civ 7. I was surprised when they announced Civ 7. Well, I don't know if it was when they announced it, but at Gamescom, when they talked about Civ 7, that they were talking about it also coming to the Switch, because it just seems like that would be a lot for the Switch to try and handle, especially at launch. But it sounds like those Civ games have sold really well previously on the Switch, so I guess it was worth it to them.
Yeah.
And it seems like it runs fine from the trailer that they showed. You know, it's obviously not the best looking version of that game, but as long as it plays well, I think people will be satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. Because I enjoyed what I played on the one you got me, the Civ 6.
Yeah. After that was Tales of Grace F remastered. So once again, anime remastered with a random letter in there somewhere.
Another remastered RPG, old RPG.
Yeah. Next up was My Sims Cozy Bundle.
My Sims is still happening.
My Sims is still happening, Dominic. As long as they sell
doing like phone stuff, right? Because there is no other hand. This is the handheld.
Yeah, this is the one. I feel like there's been some other stuff on the Switch for My Sims, but yeah, it's kind of wild that's a brand. You know, the real Sim should be coming out soon, so I guess we'll see if they have any interest in bringing that to probably whatever the Switch successor is. Next up was Five Nights at Freddy's. This is Help Wanted 2. Five Nights at Freddy's games, Dominic. I don't understand the appeal, and I'm not entirely sure how they even play. This one actually kind of looks like more of a game than previous Five Nights at Freddy's that I've seen. But yeah, there's also Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin that is coming. So get your scare on. Next up was a short trailer for Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which talked about there's demo for that now. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. That's a Hobbit game. This was a quick montage. Just Dance 2025, Funko Fusion, EA Sports FC 25. I am shocked that EA is actually putting any sports games out on the Nintendo Switch, Dominic.
Well, it's soccer.
It does make sense that if they're going to do one, that it would be that one. But even then,
I think the soccer one. I think that's huge, though. I mean, it's a worldwide thing. You got to think outside America, man.
Absolutely,
that's huge.
Yeah. All right. Next up, after that was Lego Horizon Adventures. They show a bit of that, and then Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. So you know what Harvest Moon effectively became. And then became super anime, it seems like.
Yeah, it's super, and like a lot of action and fighting. Like you're fighting big bosses and stuff. Like, I think the Harvest stuff is very is the background.
Yeah, that is a big boss. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what people's thoughts are on like specifically this one, because this one looks like the most impressive of the series that I've seen so far. Spring 2025 for that one. And then they finished this one off, Dominic, with Yakuza Kiwami. What is your level of interest in playing a Yakuza game, just in general, on a Nintendo Switch? Think you can hold
zero.
up? I mean, those are PS2 games.
Oh, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I don't care about it. Like, because I got other places to play it, and they're already out. Yeah.
So it's cool to finally see this series on here. I'm not surprised that it's finally made its way. October 24th for that game. I wouldn't be surprised if that does well if we see one of the newer ones show up on like the Switch 2 successor, where they might require a little more power to pull off. But yeah, that is the Nintendo Partner Direct and Indie Showcase. They also put out a new Echoes of Wisdom trailer into the Still World, where they show off this like other side of the world of Hyrule that you have to explore. And it's a lot of like disconnected pieces of world, and you're using your powers to transverse that stuff. They also showed what appears to be like a special mode that's probably going to be like isolated to specific areas, where you find a sword in the ground and then you basically become Link and you can directly attack enemies instead of using your staff to generate powers and stuff. But all of the stuff that they've shown about this game has just made it seem more complicated and interesting in a good way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I mean, that's coming out at the end of what will be this month when this podcast comes out. So basically just under a month away. So that should be really cool. And yeah, so now let's get into this stuff, Dominic. Sony, basically there's been a prominent leaker, Bill Kuhn, has basically said he has seen the PS5 Pro. PS5 Pro is the actual name, and they've even provided visuals as to what it's going to look like, and it basically looks like a Slim with some extra kind of flourishes to it. The one they saw is a digital only console, which is interesting. I don't know if that's all we see. You know, I feel like they have to continue to provide the option to buy discs at least through the end of this generation. And it sounds like now, I don't think anything's come out of the leaks yet, but price wise, it feels like they're going to be going for top pricing here, because they just raised the price of the PlayStation 5 in Japan. And right now the yen is not doing too well, so there's some reasoning there outside of them just like being greedier. But a 19-20% increase in the cost of your console. What are we, 4 years after the launch of this thing? That just seems excessive.
And a pro version is supposed to be coming out, right?
Yeah, so that's what scares me even more, is the idea that they're raising the price of the base one, so that then when they have the pro version come out, which is going to be at an even higher price, it maybe looks less bad. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, this is almost a deal, I have to get the pro version. And also, like, I wonder if we see a price increase, because last time we saw price increases like this, it happened everywhere else and then did eventually happen in America. Now, this is only isolated to Japan, which makes me think maybe it has more to do with the yen issues that they're dealing with, because last time we also saw it like happen in Europe. So we'll see, but like, man, it really sucks that we're at a point where the electronics are not getting cheaper over the long run. They're just getting more expensive. Like, that is not a world I expected to see, at least so soon, you know?
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know if it's going to be a price increase here, because like they didn't do it last time when I did it some other places, but I'm curious what the price of the Pro going to be. What's that price going to be of that console? But it's not going to seem like it's going to be worth it to me. I mean, I don't think the Pro should be out anyway.
Yeah,
because I feel like they didn't take a full advantage of what they have. But yeah, because people are talking about like the price increase of games, like, hey, Grand Theft Auto, they keep talking about how Grand Theft Auto could cost more or something like that. And I don't know, until it happens, I can't say until I see it happens. Like, I had to wait to GameStop being $70. When I saw a game $70, then I knew, like, okay, games are going to go on $70. Then some of these major games are going to go up to $70. And yeah, it has been like from the big companies they have, like not a lot of some of the other companies haven't, but and some smaller, I mean, like the niche games, I see sometimes they be like, hey, they're $70, but they go down in price eventually. But yeah, the console, I don't know, I don't think there'll be a price increase. I think they're gonna put a new version out. If anything, they put a new version of the system out. of even the original
with
system.
like a bigger hard drive or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
and
basically
then
what
they'll just-
Xbox is doing, because they're kind of secretly increasing the prices themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I think they just do that. They'll do that. That's how they raise the price, and just the other stuff will just go out of stock or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just take them off the shelves. I don't know. Maybe what's cheaper, just to have them there or to take them away and
Send them
just
over to
use
China
them.
so they can sell for Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, I can't believe it that things are so bad that we're seeing in prices. I mean, the first step to all this, I think, was seeing the Quest increase in price. That was the first one that like took me by surprise.
Yeah, to increase the price of something that's already been established, like it's already there, and you did nothing extra to it.
Right. And now to see that kind of melt into the main consoles is only like more frustrating. Do you think let me ask you two questions, I guess. So you brought up Grand Theft Auto. Do you see a world where they come out and say our game is a premium game? It's, let's say, $80 even, something more than the $70 quote unquote standard that we've set now. And if that is the case, does it still become one of the biggest selling games like we all expect it to?
I still think it would, but I don't think they will.
Okay. My concern is
they'll come out
that
70.
by you saying yes to the second question, they're then like licking their lips at the idea of the first question.
Yeah,
They're like, oh yeah, this is the greatest selling game series ever. We can sell this at $100. You know, even if we have to drop it to 70 within like 3 months, we're still getting a little extra out of it. I just don't know if the backlash would be big enough against a game that will theoretically be as big as it's going to be, you know?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, honestly, I would hope it would not get a backlash from doing that. I just don't know, because I feel like there's enough people who buy these $100
Absolutely,
like these early access games, like you get it for 4 days early, and you spend $100.
Yeah, that's my concern. So, I mean, I guess if the price drops pretty quickly, but that hasn't really been the case with Grand Theft Auto games, so I don't know that I believe that would be true.
Yeah, they drop in price, but they don't drop as fast as other games. They stay up there.
And it's usually not like a permanent style thing. Like you'll find it on sale, but
yeah, because they won't able to $20 the first time. I mean, or the second time. I mean, no matter how many times they did it, because they put it multiple times, it went back up.
Yeah,
and like you'd be like, darn, it went back up to freaking 60. I said, well, then I gotta wait for the next sale then. And yeah, you gotta wait probably a few months for another sale, and then go for it.
Yeah.
But that also means that there are like, I want to know the people who be buying these old games for 60. Like, well, that's not a Nintendo game. Like these games that always drop in price, but because somebody bought it. I know somebody bought it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, darn, like, is it? Did they buy out of like? They just don't know, like it's gonna drop in price, and they was just getting it, or they're like, I'm gonna play it now. I can afford it. I'll just pay the 60.
Yeah, I think there's definitely quite a bit of that where it's like, I want to play it now. I want to be part of the zeitgeist, because I mean, especially now with the internet, that's, you know, a big deal. It feels like you can definitely kind of like, even with the game, we'll talk about it in a couple of minutes here with the new releases, but like Star Wars Outlaws, like that's a game that like I would like to play that game. It seems good. It doesn't necessarily seem like it's a great game, but it also feels like a game that if I kind of miss the boat on it and it's not, you know, kind of relevant during the time that I'm playing it, that I'm ever going to play it. You know, I can easily just move on with my life if nobody's really talking about it and reminding me of how much I want to play it. So I guess there is some level of that, and everybody and their mother streams nowadays, and you got to stream relevant games, Dominic. So course, I'd
Yeah.
imagine quite a bit of those. Well, I want to say quite a bit of those people are, not necessarily buying the game, but honestly, I would imagine there's more people on Twitch that have bought the game, streaming the game, if you look at the totality and not just, the top earners.
The top earners, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, they got the game for free, yeah. But how many of those compared to the other guys,
So, all right, Dominic, anything else to say about any of that or any other news that you might have saw that I didn't pick out here?
The Xbox, the Black Wukong, possibly rumor.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to that. So there was some speculation put out.
You want to just wait till next week to see if there's anything else come out?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, let's wait till next. Yeah.
That can always be a back burner subject. Maybe we'll actually get some real information in that time.
Yeah.
See if we get some extra stuff out of there. All right, then we will get into new releases, Dominic. First up, we got World of Warcraft: The War Within. That is the latest expansion that's out on PC. It seems like people are decently happy about that. So that's exciting for World of Warcraft players.
That 20-plus-year-old game is still going.
Yep. We also have, as we mentioned earlier, these are all ones that came out of the Switch thing. Castlevania Dominus Collection, also now out on PC, Switch, of course, PS5, and Xbox One, or Xbox Series. Goat Simulator 3 out on the Switch. Peglin out on the PC and Switch. Pico Park 2 out on the Switch. Pizza Tower out on the Switch. You also have The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. That's out on Xbox Series X now. You also
I was about to say, I could have sworn that was out.
Yeah, that's just coming out on Xbox Series X now. Risk of Rain 2 on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Kimbot, that's now out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Now, this is one you played during like the Steam Fest thing, right? Or am I misremembering that? It's kind of like a Ratchet and Clank style third-person shooter.
Then that's not it. Yeah, I played something else that was different. Maybe I'm looking at it. Yeah, it definitely looks like Ratchet in his suit.
Yeah,
in that
suit. Deadlock suit or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So that game looks cool. It must have just been other podcasts that I remembered hearing talk about that, and the impressions at that time were pretty positive. There is a demo still available on Steam too, so I might have to grab that and check that out. We also have Emio the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch. So if you were into visual novels but also horror, it seems like that's the game for you. We got Gundam Breaker 4.
I don't know why it's horror. It's the smiling man. I mean, he's happy.
Yes. You don't want to know why he's smiling, though. Gundam Breaker 4 is out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5.
What kind of game is this?
This is, I think this is the one that we've been seeing on like several of these like directs or PlayStation ones.
Oh, okay.
Where it's just kind of an action game, but you also get to like customize your mechs a little more and stuff like that.
Okay.
Monster Jam Showdown out now on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
Oh, yeah, that's the good looking monster.
That is the good looking one. I meant to see if there was any actual reviews for that yet to see what people were thinking about it, but I did not get over to Metacritic to see. While I'm looking that up, we do also have, it's got an 8 out of 10 on Steam right now, a 7 out of 10 from IGN. So that's about what I would expect for even a good Monster Jam game. So might be worth checking out if you're into the monster trucks. Squirrel with a Gun, Dominic, that's now out on PC. It is exactly what you think it is.
The trailer looks funny. It's really funny. Squirrel holding a big. It's not like a squirrel holding like a squirrel sized gun. It's holding a regular sized handgun. It's a regular sized squirrel, so it's like a giant gun. He's on like for him, and shooting at regular sized humans and stuff like that. It's crazy.
You said you wanted Conquer. I said we had Conquer at home, and you got Squirrel with a gun. All right, next up, Vampire Survivors finally makes its way to PS4 and PS5. We also have Visions of Mana out
I
now
know,
on.
they just getting there.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're just getting there.
I'm glad it's getting there, but damn, it took a while. Was that a underhanded deal? That's Microsoft was like,
maybe.
Don't get on that Sony system. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it seems crazy because it's been on everything from phones to cars to everything else. So yeah,
It got on the Switch first.
Yep. Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Like it wasn't even
original.
Look, I got it on the Xbox before the Switch. Okay, so that yeah.
Definitely a deal there. Yeah. Yeah. All right, next up, Visions of Mana. That's now on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series.
Oh yeah, it's a new Mana.
Sounds like that studio has already gotten kind of ripped to shreds a bit.
Yeah, I heard that, man. Darn, that's sad.
That is very not
an 8
good.
out of 10 on IGN, 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah.
I think people are generally a good game.
Yeah, which it's only sadder. So hopefully those people find places.
Yeah, 76 on Metacritic.
Yeah, that's not bad. So
I mean, that's how I don't know any Mana game that was in the high 90s.
yeah,
all the Mana games I know were in the 80s, really, like 80 in the 80s range, like even the old Mana.
Yeah. All right, and then the big one this week, Dominic, Star Wars Outlaws. That's now out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series. It seems like the attitude around this is generally positive. It seems more like if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is a game that you might be interested in playing. But if you're not a Star Wars fan, there isn't really much for you here.
I mean, yeah, I don't know none of these people. I mean, I think it's like a few that I've seen them around. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I've seen that Lizard Man around. If that's the same Lizard Man, because it could be just a different one, and he looks the same, because they all look the same. Or that Ewok. I don't know the Ewok's name, so I don't know what. Yeah,
I don't know every Ewok by name. How dare you, Dominic?
like, yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, I'm like, why did I go for the back end characters? Like, why can't I just put out all the characters? Like some main characters. Like, I can put out Han Solo, Luke Skywalker.
Don't worry,
like,
Dominic. I'm sure we'll see Luke at some point.
I don't know.
It's not a property that goes by without us seeing Luke at least once.
What is there? Is some continuity thing with this game? Are these like, oh, this is our arena, like where all these different people from bounty hunters to all kinds of people join? Is that the story? So they can't put the real characters in there because they would never join that.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man, you could have just had like all these like characters in there. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's funny how they have this out, but then they have Rivals, Marvel Rivals. This is weird.
I fully expect this game to go down in price very quickly, Dominic.
I don't know why it is a price. Why does it cost money?
What are we talking about?
The Rivals. I mean, not the Rivals. The Star Wars.
No, this isn't Hunters. This is Outlaws.
Oh, you talking about Outlaw? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I think talking about Hunters, man.
It's all right. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Star Wars
shit.
Outlaws.
Oh, my fault. Then I don't know what this. What I have nothing to say about this. Then it looks like a Star. I heard it was like a really great. Like the world is great. Like it does feel like Star Wars.
Nice. Yeah.
And I mean that's great. I mean I know. I mean I didn't really hear like huge problems with the game. I mean I heard like the normal problems with these type of games like that it has.
It seems like this firmly sits right in the middle. This is a 7 game.
Like it's fine. Like it's a fine game. It's great. Look, I mean, as for look, it looks great. It does look great. I love visually. I think it looks really cool. Other than that, yeah, there's not really much to say about it.
Would you be interested in playing it, or is this kind of a
well,
I can find better ways to spend my time?
I wouldn't mind playing it, but tell you the truth, I'd rather play Hogwarts Legacy than this. Like,
Yeah,
I want to play that
okay.
game. That's the game I would rather. Like, as I'm going by licensed open world type of games, that's the one I want to play.
Gotcha. All right. All right, then we will, let's see. That is it for new releases. Anything else this week, Dominic?
No, that's it.
All right, then we will wrap this up. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can find us there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, Google Pop. I skipped over that one, and then I still found a way to come back to it. Spotify, Amazon Music, and till next time, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, see you.